Let's go. Okay, Ogre's coming real soon. He's going to give us a full gameplay demo of Mind Games. All right, baby. Okay, so I'm actually been in this game a little bit in the pools, and you can also, in the description below, you can join the Discord, baby. Okay, the Discord, let's see, right here. What's nice is this kind of where I come to check. Okay, the CRX token is here on the side. I love it how these Discords do it. Here's Ogre. It's up to 71 cents. I've got a few Gen Zeros. Ogre in the house. Okay, whenever you're ready, Ogre, share your screen, baby. Okay, and so when I come here, I check the tavern and I look at my heroes here. I've got a couple savants that I bought, kind of lucked out and hit. Okay, that's not my hero, my inventory here. Here's a savant. I've got the Mulk, baby. I've also got this guy. The red is savant. So the rarity is at the bottom. Savant is like a mythic. If it's green, that's like smart. That's like a common. If it's blue, that's like uncommon, intelligent. Then it goes to brilliant. And then it goes to genius. Genius is like legendary. And all these things matter. I know for the gameplay, the summoning, I don't think is here yet. We're going to get the lowdown. Ogre, you in the house, baby. Are you there? Okay, let's go. We're going to try and keep this not too long. Again, yeah, searching 3v3 if you won. That's right. So it's 3v3. I think he said maybe it's also 5v5, and maybe they have another step up as well. So looking forward to this. Okay. So I'm interested to see, first of all, we did an awesome Twitter Spaces yesterday with them. And I think from everything I can see, the team seems legit. Ogre, can you hear me? I think you're muted. Okay.
No, bro, can't hear you at all. Sorry about that.
That's all good, baby.
You caught me off guard. I thought I had a few minutes in between. We were starting at the top of the hour. My apologies.
So, yeah, time constraints. Let's get to this gameplay, baby. Let's go. Heck so, what's it look like to play this game?
So, I know a lot of y'all are DeFi Kingdoms like fam that we've known for a while. So, I'm going to relate it to that because that's what you know. So, people are saying it's a ripoff. It's a GameFi platform with a built-in AMM, right? There's always so many ways you can have a marketplace, single-sided staking, and gardening and make it unique, right? That doesn't mean it's a ripoff because the game itself is totally different. I mean, first of all, if you go to the tavern, this is where you can buy and sell, right?
Mm-hmm.
You look at these NFTs, like these are totally different. There's nothing similar, right? I mean, are you going to be able to create more mines by brainstorming using two of yours or one with another one you rent or something? Yes, you can.
What does it mean to brainstorm? Is that like summoning?
It is. Okay. Brainstorming is summoning, and that's going to happen over here at the Sanctum. Right now it's locked. That was something that was just in testing that a little bit of alpha drop for those of you who are watching this. That may or may not be getting shut off in preparation for launch on mainnet. So I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to demo it tomorrow on my power hour. It might already be off. So we will have to see. But two things that were opened up on testnet that may be appearing on mainnet very soon are, number one, brainstorming, the equivalent of summoning, right here at the Sanctum. And over here at the Artisan, there's going to be several different types of missions you can do. Some here at the portal, which are not ready yet, but we were just testing some for the Artisan. And those are the missions you go on where you gather the resources necessary to brainstorm. The way they are brainstorming is a lot more conservative. The cost is actually kind of significant. If you go to docs.mindgames.io, you will see that in order to summon a generation 1 with 2 generation zeros, it can get as expensive as 100 CRX for that single brainstorm to create a single gen 1 with 2 gen zeros. So it kind of puts into perspective where the floor is right now, and the kind of, and I'm speaking as Ogre Abroad here, no one official, because realistically I'm kind of like a contractor. They're not really even paying me that much. They're just kind of giving me some free money that I can invest into the game because I found it and I was excited and I figured I could help them. You know what I mean? So
maybe
a few extra minds myself in the process.
Yeah, man. Okay. So let's get into this gameplay. Let's go.
So yeah, enough about what's similar, what's different. They've got a fun little wheel of nom in here, which is basically going to be like a daily activity draw. You'll be able to do that once a day for free or something like that along those lines, and that will be cool. A way to bring people in. There's going to be a launch pad. They're intending on having other projects and games launch on here, but the real fun that everybody wants to know about is the arena, the gameplay, bro. What can we do right now that's actually fun and keeps us entertained and involved? All right. Well, that comes down to the mines you hold. Okay. If you don't own any mines, you can't play this game. There are 2 main modes, 3v3 and ranked modes, right? Ranked is 5v5. You pick 5 of your cards. 2 are in play at any given time, and 3 are in your circuit in your hand, waiting to be played. It's turn-based game. 3v3 is not ranked, but you can wager, and that's okay. It's not technically gambling because it's based upon skill. You pick 3 cards, up to 2 are in play at any time, and you try to be the last person with the card standing. If you win, you won the wager. The wagers can be anywhere from 0.1 to 1 Ethereum in tiers, right? So that will be fun as well. You can like use your cards and actually like freaking lay a bet down, like you're racing for pinks or something like that. You can't put your cards up, but it's an Ethereum bet.
Okay, so you actually bet the match in Ethereum.
Yep.
Okay.
And if you're in 3v3, you also see an option here, play with Larry. That's like play against the test bot. Larry's not too good, but he's a great place to go to like test a new theory you have or a new strategy you have. And that's where the real fun comes in. You may notice I've got this guy and I've also got this guy. Looks like the same guy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. Same rarity.
But it's unique, right?
Okay.
So the way that works, so there are 10 different sets. Each set has 10 different cards or 10 different mines, okay? So if you are playing the game and you use 3 mines from the same set in a 3v3 or a 5v5, those 3 mines, because they're from the same set, will have more health or more IQ, which is the equivalent of health, right? Your intelligence.
So the higher you go on that ranking above, the further to the right you go, it's got to be better cards. Or
you mean on the sets? No, these are just 10 different sets. So there's 100 different pictures that you can start out with, right? There's 100 different pictures. I have 2 of the same picture, so I really have 2 of this set, right? And then an extra one of him. They are different because if you look at the back, each one of these has an attack spell, a defense spell, or a passive spell. There's 18 total spells for each, right? For a complete of 54 spells. So there's 18 different attack spells these NFTs can have, right? And it's narrowed down even more by class. Each class has typically 3 attack spells it might have, 3 defense spells it might have, and 3 passive spells that particular class might have. It typically won't have a spell from one of the other classes.
Okay, so right now are there only basic classes?
Only Gen 0 and original classes. And from what I've seen because we were able to brainstorm a little bit on testnet, there are no new spells in Generation 1, right? There might be new spells later, but they don't have that implemented at this point.
Okay.
So now that being said, you can use spells to like create OP situations, right? So this is like very much a tactics and strategy game where the cards you might want to swap them out in between turns. You might just have 2 boss ones, like you've got a tank and a healer, and they can just beat most teams, right? So you just leave them out there, and that's what you're used to. And then you have a backup that basically is used as a defensive spell in case they have a certain OP attack that counters yours or a certain counter for your OP. Like, then you play that other card to break their spell set, right? You can get deep in this. Like, so for example, this guy, the light bulb, you see friendly cards that were hidden last turn gain +10 main stat permanent. Now, by permanent, it means for that match, right? So you have 3 stats: your motor, which is your attack, your frontal, which is your defense, and your temporal, which is like your mind, also what your HP is based on, if I'm not mistaken. I need to do more testing and verify that you can't get it from whatever your main stat is.
Okay.
Each one of the classes has a main stat.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, you've got that spell, right? And then we go back to all of my guys. You've got other spells like this guy. If you look at his defensive, if your attacker is attacked, restore your circuit for 33 IQ or 33 hit points divided by all of your cards that are still alive for 2 turns, right? So that's 66 divided by 3 or 5 or 2 cards, however many you have left, and hide, right? So if on one turn I had him out there, my attacker got hit, he hides, then I bring out that other guy my next turn, activate his passive for that turn, and now this dude just got stronger, right? So there's like little things you can do. There's also other spells out there. For example, my Chupacabra has it, the passive here, out of the box. At the end of your turn, hide both your cards. So my first turn, I might put him out there with another card that I want to start amping up, hit that passive so that at the end of the first turn, they hide. And then my second turn, I bring the other dude out and start boop, 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 using that for our light bulb skill or passive skill or forgetful, whatever it's called. And I give him +10 points, or both of them +10 points on their next turn, right? Maybe I even put him in the attack spot and put the other guy where if the attacker gets attacked, the defender hides, right? I put him in my defensive slot just in case he gets attacked, because you could actually use that light bulb skill for 2 turns before it expires, right? Not just 1 turn, but there's a second way you can pump them up a second time as well, as long as you keep them out there in your deck and not bring them out onto the nucleus. So, yeah, it gets kind of deep as to how you play.
Okay, interesting.
And other most important stat in the game, your SRT, synapse response time, or your speed right here.
Okay.
That is the most important skill, or the most important number, because the lower number goes first. And if it comes down to 1 versus 1, like I only have 1 mind left and you only have 1 mind left, and I've got an SRT of 0.5 and you've got an SRT of 0.6, I win, you lose, because I get to attack first.
Right.
Like, unless you've got enough hit points to beefcake through one of my attacks, and when you only have 1 card left, you get that enrage, which makes you like 2 times as strong, and also makes it so you take 2 times as much damage. So it's 1v1. You've got to be able to basically survive 4 times my attack if you're slower than me.
Okay.
So that SRT is huge. Now, when you summon into Generation 1, the only thing I've really seen carryover on is your set, right? There's supposed to be some carryover to the class. Maybe there's a way you have to do it, and I just didn't find it because I only summoned like 6 or 7 times. We brainstormed, I'm sorry. We didn't have a whole lot of resources. They just wanted to test it, not let us get a whole bunch of intel on it, right? Because I'm technically not on the team. I'm on the outside like you guys, so I'm not getting any inside information. And what I can figure out, I'm sharing with you, as you see right now.
Yeah. Okay. And so are there going to be summoning pairs is it going to be like DeFi Kingdoms where you're trying to hit the next class, or will that matter?
They haven't said, but they like keeping some of that stuff kind of under the belt, right? Like DeFi Kingdoms, they want to have their surprises. That's their game, right? They don't have the time or necessarily the ability to play this game, like, because they're worried about whatever. But the game they play is developing this awesome thing and building in neat little Easter eggs and mechanics that we then have to figure out and get excited when we figure out and start talking about and sharing. And like, yeah, that's the game they get to play because they're not playing mind games like we are. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Now, that's not a promise by the team. I haven't necessarily heard anything official, but I do know developers. And I said that to Kosku on our thing, and his face like completely answered my question. Like, yeah, I could tell that he enjoys it. It was because there's different reasons people will do that, right? There's sometimes people don't want to provide clarity because they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're figuring it out along the way. You got to be careful of that.
Yeah.
But sometimes teams do it because like that's their game that they're playing. They're smart enough to figure it out. They're good. They're competent. But watching us, the community, enjoy what they created for us is the game they play and how they find enjoyment in the whole creation process. Because they're not really doing it for the money in most cases. These guys are like OG ETH heads that have been around for a hot minute, right? They could probably retire on an island somewhere and not have to worry about working again for the most part, like core team wise. Not saying that's true, just kind of the feeling I get.
So they don't need the money, is what that's good.
Right, they're doing it for love of
they're
what
doing
they're
it out of love for this, not for money grab. That's
much
big.
like some other. They're doing it for innovation, right? To create something new, create something cool. Yeah,
baby, that's big, man. Okay,
heck yeah. So
you
want to see a match, or
I want to see the full deal? Let's go, baby.
All right, I'm not sure if anybody's out there right now because it is still closed beta, so there's only a handful of people, and it's not like a dedicated power hour.
I see. But anybody can jump in and play, but you just have to get like, how do you get approval to do the pre-alpha testing or whatever?
You have to get whitelisted.
Okay.
That's why.
And how do you do that? How do you get on there and do that if you want to play this game?
You have to have the NFTs, and technically they had like windows, but my people, my fam, let me know. We'll get you through. Like once you get them, just kind of DM me. Let me know if you get at least 3 mines.
Okay.
Although in reality, it might not be a big deal for much longer. Just saying, can't say anything official. Nothing's come out yet, but I don't know. Probably not a bad idea to get whitelisted.
Do that if they don't do it now.
Pardon?
People may not have the chance to do that if they don't do that now.
That is a true statement. If they don't get whitelisted soon, they might not have the chance to get whitelisted.
Okay. And he's told me like 4 times that he, I can get in there and get whitelisted. I just haven't.
You're already in the server, bro. You have them. All you need to do is open a ticket, literally raise a ticket and be like, can I please get whitelisted? Tag Ogre abroad. And I'll be like, tag Omega. And like within 24 hours, it'll be like, you are whitelisted.
Okay. And we'll do that here during the video. What was your strategy of picking the cards there?
All right. So I am focusing on my ascension skill here. These 2 guys both have head for the hills. I'm going to use them on defense and then ascension as my passive skill. And I'm going to beef this dude up, or maybe beef this dude up because he's my fastest. So I kind of want to save him. Right.
And what does it mean to beef him up?
Make him stronger.
Oh, you do that during the match?
This ascension skill. If I win my ascension, which is pitting him against him, my attacker against his attacker, after we all do our spells, this guy's just going to straight out attack him. And if he wins, then he's going to get stronger. See his skills, 14, 29, 27. Watch what happens. This is my passive spell that'll cause this to happen. All right, so he attacked my defender. So this is not a great defensive skill. He actually found the kink in my armor because that won't trigger his healing ability. But here's my ascension. I hit him. He hits me. I hit him. He dies. Oh, he didn't. He got 1 more whack in, but I still killed him.
Okay.
Womp, womp, womp. And you saw his stats were all green before, right? And that's just a temporary one-off. They don't actually die or lose their stats. It goes back to the temporary thing. And if you look at him, his stats went up. And it was his temporal stat, which also is what his hit points or IQ are based off of. So he just got not only stronger and tougher so that his attack does more damage, but he also got more hit points, all for that one passive attack.
Oh.
And this guy got some because of his spell, his passive spell. So I'm going to do this again just because. We brought out his big guns, the big bearded bastard. I don't like him. He's tough.
He's tough, huh?
He is tough. He might beat me. We'll see how this goes. But he might also attack him, which makes them all heal. So you notice my spell. It's damaging the whole enemy circuit.
Yeah.
The circuit is the nucleus plus the cards in your hand, right? Now you notice he just went, that triggered, my attacker got attacked.
He hid.
The attacker was attacked, so I restored some hit points and hid, right? He jumped off the nucleus into my hand, which sometimes is good. Yes, I won. Ha ha ha. Screw. Oh, it's Zara. What's up, Zara? I hope you're watching. That'd be awesome. All right. So he took some damage because that guy attacked him like straight up, but he also won the battle. So that's a win. And the whole time, this guy's getting stronger too, and he can ascend and do the same thing. He's just not as fast.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring him out and him back. Oh, no, I can't do that.
I thought one of your heroes died, though.
Him and him.
Didn't one of them die?
Say again?
I thought one of them died already.
During the ascension, when one guy attacks that guy, I can't. It doesn't actually die. It's just like a temporary mini game contest.
Oh.
And then you reset to your hit points. It's just like a one-off try for something.
Okay. And then they reset again. Huh.
Yep. And that's cool. He attacked him. So now his healing thing is going to trigger. Not only is it going to heal him, but it's also going to heal him, who I've pulled off because he's my fastest guy. So I want him to be my last guy. That way, in a last-ditch effort, he smacks everybody before they smack him. Right? A little bit of tactics there.
Because of this.
Yes, he had one hit point left and survived. Oh, that was so epic, bro. That was so close. One hit point. Hell yeah. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, you floppy face brain.
So then he came back again.
Yeah, he's got ascension also. So he's going to afterwards try and kill me. And if he fails, he actually loses damage. He actually went first. That was his ascension. And I beat him, right? So because he lost that, he lost hit points. Now mine triggers and I attack him, and I'm going to gain stats because my ascension succeeded and his ascension failed. So he lost 35 damage or 35 hit points because he failed in his passive, right?
Wow. Interesting, man.
Yeah. So there's a lot of tactics in this game. Like that's why I dig it.
So yeah,
it's really fun.
How can someone go learn all those abilities?
Docs.
Okay.
.mindgames.io. If you go to just the mindgames.io, or there's a little menu and it takes you to the documents, even from within the game, the little scroll.
Right.
If you're looking at the more visual aspect of the game, the little scroll, it will show you. It'll take you right to documents, so you can do that as well.
And I'll show you guys that here in a second. It's in the description below. Their main websites.
I mean, the community lives in Discord. That's the best place to start.
Yeah, and it's in
realistically. Or hit me up on Twitter if you don't really like Discord. I'm happy to respond to you there and help you find whatever you need. But yeah, no, Discord is definitely the place to be. That's where all like the updates happen. That's where I have my power hours, where I'll do something like this for an hour 3 times a week, and just anybody that comes in, they can talk, or there's the chat where they can just text, or I'll just sit there and kind of go on a monologue, right? I could talk for a full hour without anybody interrupting. No worries. I'll do it if I have to, but it's much more fun when somebody's there to hang out with and talk to you, like this back and forth with Grady. I love this. I eat it up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is cool.
Heck yeah. All right, so what does he have? He has the same one, but he does 93 damage with that Psych Out spell. He has it, but he does 131 damage because he's got beefed up, right?
Oh,
Plus, he's faster. He's a 0.8. Whereas he would go last, he'll go beforehand. So I'm just going to leave him out there and keep hoping they attack my attacker so I can get him some more hit points and more healed up.
Okay.
Ooh, he's got a 179 because he used that process spell. So the process spell, you do damage, and the next turn they get half of that back on top of it to come at you for one turn as like a revenge. And then at the end of that turn, that a spell wears off and they lose all of that. So it's almost like a last stand type thing. Oh, wow, he just smacked my guy. Not cool. That was my quick dude, Beardy. Oh, I hope you lose. I really want to beat you here. What's up, punk? That's what you get for killing my Chupacabra. Not cool.
So how many times you got to kill him for you to win this whole battle?
Well, this ascension, each time we have to, this is 2 battles right here where it's like one-on-one like that, right?
Yeah.
But those 2 happen in one turn where it's just a question of whether or not you're going to take damage if you fail your ascension, or whether or not, like he did, or whether or not you're going to get stronger. So he failed, he took damage, then that process spell wore off, and he died. So
Okay.
now I believe this is his last guy.
So he actually died that time.
He actually died that time.
Okay.
And
Yeah, it's
now,
gonna take a little while to wrap my mind around it. Oh.
yeah, it's fun. Like, it's not overly difficult. I mean,
Okay.
I think it's the same level of complexity we're gonna have with like DeFi Kingdoms, where you got to learn the best of each classes and which skill trees to level up. You know what I mean? It's the same type of complex strategy and tactics you want to employ, just different skin, different way of playing, different game. You know what I mean? So whereas DeFi Kingdoms might appeal to one person who's like a big fan of League of Legends or something like that, this is basically the same game, but might appeal more to somebody who's like a fan of Magic the Gathering, right? A great complement to each other within our greater gaming community that we use to attract Web2 people into Web3.
Okay. So it looks like Igor is on here, baby. Is that who you were just playing?
It might be. Is that you, Zarg?
I love it. Baby. Okay.
Heck yeah.
So there's so many questions.
Bring them.
It's like I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. So, okay. So right now, so when you're looking at these cards, okay, the hero class is beside the name on the left-hand side.
Yep, that's your hero class. There's 6 of those. Now, keep in mind, 2 of those classes, Melder, which looks like that, and one other, I forget what it is off the top of my head, but I have the documents actually open right here, I think. Yeah, missions. So the Sensor and Melder class are essentially your miners from DFK. So they will be able to unlock some of your locked CRX over time, unless they make a change, because I've figured this out and I'm sharing it with you, which I don't think they'll do, right? But your Sensor and Melder class are your miners and do the same thing they do in DFK, unlock your locked tokens.
Okay.
And that will be in the cryptography mission that happens in the portal that is not unlocked yet. They're still working on that. The other one that you want to key in on is, I believe, the Seafair, which Wave and Node classes are going to get good at it. It says, will only reward CRX if there are offerings made on the specific pairs. So in my mind, that says gardeners, right? For the Wave and Node classes, those are going to be your gardeners. So Sensor, Melder, miners, Wave, and Node are your gardeners.
Okay. So real quick, I'm going to share my screen here. So this is the white paper. It's in the Discord.
Yep.
And it's on the website, both in the description below. Okay. And
that tree on the left goes deep. You expand it out, like expand out game basics.
Game.
Down under learn.
Okay, right here. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Now expand NFTs.
Okay.
Yeah, now expand mines.
Okay.
Right. And you see all that information down there that deep. Moxie, Mind Moxie is basically your energy. Each one of the profession quests you go on uses 10 Moxie. You have 40 Moxie to start with. There is no word here or there, but there has been a rumor that you may be able to level up your mines just like you can in other games, which would then increase the amount of Moxie you have and stuff like that, I would assume. Right.
Okay.
As well as your stats.
And we can't quest yet either, right?
The first quests that you're going to be able to do are the ones in the Artisan. And if you scroll down, go to Neuropia.
Okay.
And click on Artisan.
Okay.
These are the 2 missions that we're going to be able to do right now. The Kalos Expedition you see right there, and then the one below, which is like the Thalos Expedition.
Okay.
Those reward the assets that are necessary for brainstorming. You're going to need those. On the left is Floxium, which you won one of the other day.
Yeah.
You'll need Floxium. The gold thing is Aurorium, and then food, which is the wheat and apple looking thing.
Okay. So neither one of these that we'll start off with is mining or gardening. This is
Those are not mining or gardening.
Okay. Okay.
Those are going to come in the portal, which is 2 below artisan.
Okay.
And if you scroll down, that's where if you forget, oh wait, no, it's not there. I'm sorry. Go to missions.
Missions. Okay.
There you go. Scroll down to cryptography. This, in case you forget what I told you, is where you can find the information I use to assume that sensors and melders right there in the top in blue center are used to unlock locked CRX obtained from Piero's statue. Piero's statue is the garden as it would relate to DeFi Kingdoms.
Yeah.
That's where the gardening and the farming is done. So every time you claim from the gardens, you get some unlocked and some is locked, just like in DeFi Kingdoms. Cryptography is the mission you run to unlock those, and Melder and Sensor are the classes you want to use to go on those missions, right? So I would recommend you're trying to get some of those. Now, taking it back to the various 10 sets, each set has all of these classes in that set, but they're like laid out. Like, so for example, for Men in Tights, the Savant is the Mulk, and the Mulk is a thinker, not a melder, right?
Okay.
Okay,
this guy's mind's in tights.
So what are you on? Oh, you're on app.
This
Go
is
to play.mindgames.io. That's weird. The graphics are different there. I have not seen that.
My own hero right here. Yeah. So what is this guy?
That guy is a Men in Tights class or set, right? You can tell by the orange M right below his hit points. He's got a 0.8 SRT.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. That ranges from 0.4 to 1.4. So right in the middle speed wise. 168 hit points isn't bad. He's intelligent, which is basically like uncommon. His stats are pretty well distributed. His defensive stealth brainstorm is good. I like that one. What that one does is if you get attacked for like 100 or 90 hit points, it divides the damage over 3 turns. So you only take 30 damage, and then next turn you take 30 damage from that attack, and the turn after that you take 30. Which there is a passive, the green spell called Forgetful, which actually gets rid of any long-term damage like that. So you could, if you pair it properly, only take 30 damage from that 90 points and just defer the rest of it and make it go away. The Coerce is really awesome because there's spells that are like, oh, the first person to attack takes damage. And you use their guy to beat their own guy up. So even if that person takes damage, it's their own guy. That's a pretty cool spell. There's a few of them: Coerce, Manipulate, and a Primal, which you use your opponent's mines to attack their own mines, and yours don't even get involved. So that's another way to kind of like stack your attacks, right? You could use Coerce to where enemy defender attacks the enemy attacker with 53. And then there's also another, a passive or a green one you could use, which is Manipulate, which causes the defender to attack the attacker. So you cause it to happen twice on a single turn. Pulverize is a really cool attack spell. I like that one because basically it's like, do your damage. If your opponent is doing a lot of damage to you and they've got like big swingers, that's a huge one because it turns around and just pounds it right back at them. All of the damage that you took to your whole circuit and puts it right back on their one dude, their defender. And that coupled with Mole is like the most powerful healing spell in the game because it gives you half of the damage that you took back as IQ, which is your health, right? So it gives 50% of your health back to you as your defender.
So this guy's a monster.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one, bro.
Yeah. He's fast. He's got a high IQ.
Brick Wall could be better, but it's still good. He's got a great attack. Because he's a thinker, it's, I think, Brick Wall, Ram, and Remember are the 3 defensive spells. And of those 3, I like Ram the most because what it does is it takes all of the damage that your opponent did and sends 50% of it back at their attacker. And if you couple that with Pulverize, like both your attack and defense spells both protect your team to a degree and deal damage back. So it's a great combination if you can find that combo.
Okay. And so how do we know if it's a miner or gardener again? Where do we? Is where is
Yes,
that?
the class leech.
Leech. Okay, so what's a leech?
Not. It's
Okay.
one of those two that is neither a miner or a gardener.
Okay, a thinker. What is a thinker again?
The
Like
thinker, I believe, was neither also. That was the other
okay,
one.
so those two are like fishers and foragers, kind of.
Right.
Okay, and then this one, node. What's that?
I believe node and wave were your gardeners.
Oh, okay. So there's a gardener. How about this guy?
Yeah, node and wave are gardeners. Sensor and melder are your
Miners.
miners.
So I've got me a miner.
Dude,
Right.
you got a savant miner. That's huge.
Nice.
Savant miner. That is like mythic of mythic. And
Wow.
that spell he's got, the attack spell, dry up.
Mhm.
That's a cool spell because if you have a deck full of sensors to where you're playing 5v5 and you've got 5 sensors, that's 26 damage times 5 when you attack right off the rip.
Okay, and then what is this? This is the class.
That's his set. Remember, you have 10 sets of 10 cards each. Each one of those sets has like 2 savants with 2 different classes, right? So this is the artiste set of like the set of cards, right? It's that yellow with the X on it, right below his IQ.
Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of like forest versus earth versus wind. They have a set, and if you use multiple cards from that same set in a game, they get IQ bonuses.
Okay. So that was a sensor. The thinker is not a miner.
Forager fisher.
Like a forager. Okay. And then a node is like a gardener.
Gardener. Yep.
Interesting. So I've got 2 gardeners, 1 miner, and then 3 fishers, foragers type, to interesting. Nice. And so this right here is the set of cards. I don't get that yet.
That's famous brainiacs.
That's
that right there that you're hovering over relates to famous brainiacs.
And what do the 10 sets matter again?
Go out of this. X out of this.
Okay.
X out of that.
Okay.
Or wait, go all the way up. X out of that. Go to you're in the tavern.
I'm in my those are my
zeros. You're right. Scroll back up.
Okay.
And then go to listings.
Okay.
You open up the filters on the left there. Left.
Okay, right here.
Yep. All right. So now you see set there. So click on famous brainiacs.
Okay.
And hit apply at the bottom. Bottom left. Yep,
okay. Okay.
So now you notice they all have that same color, that same color flag. So if you find 3 cards here that you like and have spells that work together, then you can create a set that will have bonuses to their hit points. Because they're of that set. And each one of these sets, each flag like that has 10 cards in it only. There's only 10 different pictures for each one of those flags. So there's 10 sets.
Okay.
10 cards per set for a full list of 100 cards. There's also Wild Jokesters. That's the 11th set, but that's like super wild cards. That's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, these sets in a perfect world, your goal is to create a deck of cards both for a 3v3 and a 5v5 using a single set.
Okay.
Right? So or maybe if it's a 5v5, maybe you use 2 sets because you get a bonus if you have 2 guys from the same set in your hand. So if you have like a 5v5 and it's a 2 from one set and 3 from another set because their spells are complementary, like that would mean that you have bonuses on all 5 of your cards. Right? Okay. Just the ones with 3 of 3 would have a bigger IQ bonus than the ones that was 2 from the same set.
Okay. So I got 2 with this set here, end, and then 2 with this green hat.
So if you're doing a 5x5, I would use all 4 of those and then one of the other 2. Better yet, you might want to try and sell some of those or buy some ones that work better. Potentially, like sell one of those 2 in the bottom left, or you know what, we can take a look. I may be willing to trade you.
Or sell this savant and try and get 3 with the same flag, right?
Yeah, bro, I'll definitely buy that savant off you. I want more savants. They're good
Even
for
though he's a
they're good.
beast.
They're good for summoning, right? So I'm not gonna hide and like try and do you dirty. I want it because savants make great babies.
Yeah. Or I just want to buy 2 more with the same flag, basically.
That might be smart as well.
Yeah. Because
I mean,
he's got a
because in all
1.
reality, as we said earlier on in the stream, like the floor for these Generation Zero mines is like 90 CRX. In order to take 2 Gen Zeros and brainstorm to make a Gen 1, it's going to cost over long term about 200 CRX to make a single Gen 1. So I'm going to let you guys like look at those numbers, write it down on a piece of paper. Gen 0 costs this, Gen 1 costs this. And I'm hoping it's pretty basic and pretty obvious to everybody. There were some paper handlers that jumped in that were typical, like, ooh, it's day 1 of a DEX. I know how to do this. I put all my money in on the first 3 days, and before the week 2 or week 3 is over, I pull it all out and I dump on everybody. They played the dumb DEX game because they didn't realize they had a game. So that stage has happened, and they got all these mines because they didn't know what they were doing, and they dumped them too, and they're all on the floor, and these fools don't know what they're selling. I mean, assuming, again, like I always say, learn about the team, learn what they're doing, decide that you trust in the team and where they're going enough to where you want to invest in this game for 6 months to 2 years at least. Yeah. And if so, take a look at the numbers that are out there, bro. They're pretty self-explanatory.
That's wild it's wild that I got 2 savants, right?
It is. You picked one up. You were smart and bought one, didn't you?
No.
Or did you luck out at just 2 out of 6? You got that?
2 out of 6. Boom. I hit.
Damn, bro. That's some serious mythic vibes.
Yeah. And at first I was like, what the heck?
Bro,
I think
I got these didn't have first.
I hit these 2 first, and I was like, dang, they're just smart.
Right.
Like common.
But that mole is a great one.
And then I hit this one, boom, next.
Dude, that one's beast.
And then I did 2 more smart.
I'm not as excited about your dolly, but I want them for breeding purposes or brainstorming purposes. I just wish you didn't have a mulk, because that's like I've got 2 savants, they're both mulk. So you don't want to be stuck with 2 mulks either.
He's a beast, man.
He is.
He's fast and super high IQ.
I'm not super excited for him for defense, but as an offensive guy and passive, I love him.
Like, what's this guy good at? He's low.
That guy isn't. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Solve. If you have Solve and you pair it, like, so him on defense with Solve, right, could defend him, right? Especially if you pair it with Mole for the passive from the Mulk. Go to the Mulk.
Okay. Yeah.
You see you have that Mole passive.
Yeah.
So if your defender gets attacked and they get attacked for more than 43, which is your main stat on Mulk. No, if you go back there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you read the Mole, the description there, if they're attacked for more than the main stat, restore half the damage. So Mulk's main stat is 43. So if somebody pounds on and you put him in pulverize, right? You put him in the attack, select his passive, and then use Salvador Dali in the defense where he's restoring his hit points. And if it's a big hit, Mole kicks in and gives him even more power, even more IQ back, all the while as he's getting beat up, you're using pulverize to smash the other team's defender. Now, the weakness that would have is if somebody attacked your attacker and they did it for only which is your Mulk, and they only did it for like 40 damage or less, Mole is not going to trigger, right? Because it's not more than your main stat. And like none of the healing things would happen, and your pulverize wouldn't be as strong. So like that's like where you have that balance. Like you find cool little strategies, but you always got to be careful to balance them out because there's a defense for every attack.
Yeah. The only thing this guy's higher on compared to the Mulk.
But your Mulk's definitely a better card, bro. He's faster. Yeah. He has more health. He's got better stats.
Everything. So
and I like both of his skills, whereas this one.
What's this 38 right here? Oh, temporal.
38 is temporal.
Temporal. What's that mean? Huh.
That's his main stat. So
it's all like
if you use anything, any sort of spell that raises his main stat, like if you were to cause him to hide and then use that brilliant light bulb to give him a +10 to his main stat, his temporal would go up by 10, which would give him more hit points.
Okay.
But I don't think it would affect his attack because I believe the dry up spell is based off of his motor skill.
Okay.
Or his motor stat, which is that one that looks like an attack.
So this guy actually might be worth selling. He's like not a great.
He's a great breeder, but not going to be great necessarily for a deck.
Yeah, right.
Potentially, right?
Compared to these other guys, he's got a much higher IQ, but
there is also a lot of unknown that like we're purely speculating on, right? Because if you can level him up and you can level all these cards up, it doesn't matter what they look like as a like level 1 Gen 0, they're going to level up way better than that smart or intelligent card, so it'd be worth keeping because long term it's going to be a beast card above the other ones. You know what I mean? Yeah. We don't know that yet. That's pure speculation, but something to keep in mind before you let something like a savant go or even a genius.
Okay,
that's legendary and mythic. That typically means something,
right? Okay, well, interesting, guys. There you have it. We've got the gameplay. We've got a little alpha there. Mind games. It's for real. It's no joke. It's not a copycat DFK.
It has some things in common, right? And I'm sure they probably played it and they probably took some good ideas from DFK, right? I mean, is DFK a copycat Uniswap because they used known and tested code that Uniswap created?
Right.
It's the same argument, bro.
Yeah,
yes, of course they're going to use known and tested software and ideas to build what they want. So yes,
it literally is like a fork of Uniswap or something. The DEX part,
100%. It's Uniswap AMM version 2, 100%.
They all do. They all
want to involve version 3 because it's the newer, more upgraded version. They just haven't integrated it yet. Like calling something a copy of something else, as long as they pay homage to it and be like, yeah, I'm not trying to hide that there are a lot of similarities. I'm using that to teach you, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's a copy. It just means it's similar in some ways, which makes it easier for you to learn.
Right. And you have a goal to connect with Dragon's Crossing and have them put the DCX token into this DEX.
I would love to see that happen. And there may or may not be a call planned. Just saying.
Yeah. So you're working on that. I know there's conversations. I don't know which DEX they're going to pick, or if they're just going with one DEX or multiple DEXs. I'm not super.
It wouldn't be a bad idea to be on multiple DEXs in all reality. Yeah. Although partnering with one and going like exclusive, typically you'll get better support.
Right. And so with this being a game, having use case for the CRX token. See, I don't know what other DEXs. I think Drake put out a thread on the DEXs on Arbitrum. But here's my next video, I think tomorrow, is going to be on how to sustain DeFi. And the only way to sustain it is for the earning token, which in this case is CRX. The earning token has to have real world use case. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's what incentivizes people to create liquidity with a token. Okay. And just like we do on DeFi Kingdoms. So we're going to hit on that tomorrow, but I don't know what else is out there. Like you look at things like PancakeSwap, they're trying to, create more utility for the the cake token.
This game kind of has that solution, I think.
It's hard to find that anywhere in DeFi, which threatens the long-term sustainability of DeFi, period.
Bro, share my screen. It's front and center. That right there. That is the magic upgrade.
The launch pad, what is it?
Exactly what it sounds like. It's where, let's say, 6 months or a year down the line, as this grows and gets bigger, Dragon's Crossing is launching on Arbitrum, wants to co-market, wants to integrate into an ecosystem, and is willing to utilize CRX into their game. Bam, they are launching on our launch pad with our community, with us being whitelisted in before everybody else, right? Provides use case, provides expansion, provides horizontal growth, and more verticals. It creates a very healthy ecosystem, and it provides use case for all the tokens.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so it's an interesting thought. We'll hit on that some more tomorrow. Any last words, Ogre? Good stream. Thanks for sharing mind games, alpha, end game, actual play.
No worries, brother. Thank you for making the time to come check out those amazing cards you have. We got to get you in there and teach you how to play, and maybe we can trade some and get you a really fun deck to play with. Or in reality, I just recommend buying some of the prices there are right now. Oops.
I know.
Not financial advice. Just like, I mean, where I just bought some, I'm in the middle of finalizing a process where I dropped $1,400 to buy 6 more cards off OTC. Because he was a paper hander and he wanted to move on to something else. He wanted to guys some Bitcoin, and I wanted that Savant and that wild card or wild jokester that he had and a few other cards. So it was worth it.
These are all Gen Zeros here. We're talking, you know, less than $100. We're talking closer to $50.
Yeah, ridiculous. Bro.
Okay, so LeBron James right there. LeBron jeans. Man, that's cool.
You shared my screen, so if you want to put yours back up, they can't see what you're seeing.
Oh, gosh, dang it. We got Snakehead is at the floor here. That's a Gen Zero. And that's actually an intelligent. That's like an uncommon.
Correct. Oh. They're all Gen Zeros. That's all that exists right now.
Right. This is LeBron James, baby. Mm-hmm. He's faster than one. Come on. Come on now. All right. I love it.
Something to keep in mind. There's a lot of people in the Defi Kingdoms community who experienced impermanent loss that are still in the community and wrote it down. What you may not have experienced was the front side of that wave. That illiquid loss also can be illiquid gains. And again, not financial advice. Do some research on DeFi and what happens when you enter into an LP when the value of both tokens is low and then the value of both tokens goes up.
Yeah.
Cool things can happen. Just saying.
Yep. Yep. So you can get in cheap right now. These are Gen Zeros. Looks like a fun game to play to me. And I know Sandwich Punch got in there and bought like 5 yesterday, baby. So I love it.
Yeah, I got my eye on 1 or 2 that I want to pick up myself just to complement my stable O mines because I want to have like max breeding pairs just in case that question you started to ask earlier but we never got to. Just in case it takes a certain 2 mines to make a specific third mine because it might be that 1 third mine that's just amazing and dope and everybody wants it and I want to have that breeding pair to make it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So the floor is cheap. It goes up fast.
It does.
And there's hardly any savants. It's like amazing.
People are diamond handing this stuff, dude. Like there were not that many paper hands. There were a few paper hand events where people capitulated and the people that saw the value scoop stuff up.
Yeah.
Heck, there's some of them in chat right now. Ryder, I'm sorry, Igor. There's some other people that I recognize that they're smart. They saw the value and they're just waiting for people to come figure it out what they've already found.
Yep. I love it. All right. Thanks, Ogre. Crypto Grady out. Mind games, baby. You get in. It's cheap. The token's cheap. The market cap. Let's see. The market cap. We are talking $278,000 market cap. $250,000.
Mind, baby.
That is mind blowing on this thing. Right here. All these links are below. You can read through the docs, the white paper. It's also in the game. I love you guys. Crypto Grady and Ogre out, baby.